and welcome to Rise and Unwind. We're that show where we talk to people from across the country about things you can do in your neighborhood. And on this week's show, we got this.
And I think that's where we're going to have to start putting in some boundaries on where we trust between the customers, trust between our partners, and trust between our employees.
All of that and more right here on Rise and Unwind. Holiday shopping can be stressful, right? Between, trying to find the best deals and guessing what your friends and families will actually like, it can be a lot. But now, artificial intelligence is stepping in to kind of make it easier. And here to explain how AI tools on Amazon are helping shoppers save time, money, is smart shopping expert Trae Bodge. Trae, welcome back to the show, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing so well. Thanks for having me back.
Okay, it just seems like AI is everywhere. It's in my refrigerator, it's in my computers, it's in my phone, all that good stuff. It's kind of changing the way we're shopping too and helping them get ready for the holidays, right?
It absolutely is. It can do so much of the legwork for you, which is what I love about it. It saves you time and money. So one tool that I wanted to tell you about is Rufus. It's Amazon's conversational shopping assistant, and it's trained on the entire catalog of Amazon. It also uses web data and consumer reviews and community Q&As, so it's really smart. And so you can ask it questions about products that you're looking at, or you could give it a prompt like, I have $500 to spend. I want to spread it across my kids 5, 7, and 9. What do you got? And Rufus will give you age-appropriate suggestions that work within your budget. You can even drill down into their interests to get more specific. So it's so helpful.
What can shoppers do if they're looking for something like specific that's just like not on Amazon?
Yeah, so Amazon even has a feature now called Buy for Me. So you can search for the item on Amazon, and it'll make suggestions of comparable items from Amazon, third-party sellers, and then also it'll make suggestions beyond Amazon. And you don't even have to leave the site to explore those options.
All right, that's kind of cool. And a lot of people say that items they like on TikTok and Instagram, how can AI even track those things down?
Yeah, so AI can track those things down as well, thanks to Amazon Lens and its new feature, Lens Live. So if you're on social media or if you're out and about and you see something that you really like, you can aim the camera at it, and then you'll be served up a swipeable carousel of product suggestions. And then Rufus, the AI assistant, will even jump in with more product information. So it's a great way to get your hands on those items that you're coveting.
So if you're like a cosplayer and you find something in a movie, you could just like send it and kind of find similar stuff?
Absolutely.
That's kind of cool, actually.
It's very cool.
So how can AI tools make it easier to find gifts that like match someone's personality? I'm kind of going out there on this one. I just want to see if they could do that too.
It can. So there's a feature called Interests, and this is where you can create a very specific prompt. So if you have someone on your list who's really tricky to buy for, and they love cooking and cookbooks and innovative cooking tools, you can enter that prompt, and then Interests will scan Amazon and give you all of the suggestions, even let you know if there are deals, new product drops, product availability. So it's doing all that hard work for you.
And for people that don't know much about like a product category, how can AI help guide them through like some of the better options?
Yeah, so the AI shopping guides can really help you if, for example, someone on your list wants something that you don't know a lot about, you can learn about that category and then it'll make appropriate suggestions. And then another really cool feature is called Hear the Highlights. And this is if you don't have time to look on a screen, but you want to hear audio, like a fun conversational description of a product, that's available too.
All right, and before we wrap up, where can our viewers go to learn more?
Sure, you can go to Amazon and you can learn about all these cool tools that we just talked about.
Trae Bodge, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, Dan.
Type 2 diabetes affects more than 34 million Americans, and researchers are now testing a non-surgical procedure that could help change how it's managed. So joining us is Dr. Barham Dayyeh, co-inventor of the new treatment now being studied in clinical trials. Welcome to the show, Doctor. How are you?
Hi, Dan. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Okay, for people that may not know much about it, what exactly is type 2 diabetes, and why is this such a serious health issue?
As you alluded, Dan, it's a very common problem in the United States, affecting about 34 million Americans, and its consequences on health is staggering. At its core, type 2 diabetes is a problem of what we call insulin resistance. That means that your body stops responding properly to this hormone that your pancreas produces that manages your sugar called insulin. With time, this insulin resistance causes chronic elevation in the blood glucose or blood sugar. And these chronic elevation in the blood sugar has detrimental effect on health. They really affect every organ system in the body, from the brains to the eyes to the heart to even the peripheral nerves in your legs. Therefore, understanding the root cause of this disease and tailoring treatments that address the root causes is an important path forward for managing this disease.
So how does this new procedure work, and what makes it different from current treatment options?
Absolutely. So currently, the treatment options are focusing on managing the symptoms of type 2 diabetes, and the hallmark symptoms is elevated blood sugars. And we have a multiple medication that lowers these blood sugars, but few of these medications address the root cause of this insulin resistance. We now know as well that the GI tract, especially the proximal part of the intestines called the duodenum, plays an important role in regulating blood sugars and metabolism. And that lining of the GI tract gets diseased in type 2 diabetes, an entity that we call diabetic duodenopathy. So unlike medication, this treatment targets this diseased lining of the intestines by administering these pulsed electrical field in an outpatient non-surgical procedure in order to rejuvenate or reset or recreate healthy cells within that duodenum that reverses this insulin resistance. So the exciting part is, unlike the current treatment, it's trying to address underlying cause of the disease by targeting the GI tract and reversing insulin resistance. So it's exciting potential and exciting paradigm in disease management.
So what have you learned so far from some of these early stage trials?
So we've been in trials for a few years now. What we've learned is the safety profile of this intervention is good. We've also learned that it's affecting more than just blood sugar. So the blood sugars are improving significantly, but also the whole metabolism of the patient is improving. So their blood lipids like triglyceride and cholesterol is improving, and their weight is being reduced by this intervention, whether we've seen a modest weight loss. So these results are exciting. They validate our assumption that this could be a disease-modifying treatment that could delay the progression of type 2 diabetes in addition to modern medications. Of course, we're in the midst of larger trials to validate these findings, but the early signals have been very encouraging in that the safety profile has been good and the efficacy has also been good.
And for those that are living with type 2 diabetes and want to learn more, or maybe even see if they qualify, how can they get involved?
If you are an adult with type 2 diabetes and struggling with managing your blood sugars with medications, that's a really good opportunity. I would urge you to go to the website, resetstudy.com, RECET study.com, to learn more about the procedure, assess your eligibility, and get referred to be considered for this exciting opportunity to be part of this trial.
Dr. Dayyeh, thanks for joining me today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You know, AI is everywhere now. It's at work, it's in schools, it's in healthcare, it's in my fridge. But that convenience comes with new security concerns. Since it's Cybersecurity Awareness Month, Aman Sirohi, Chief Information Security Officer at Cyberhaven, is here to share how we can use AI responsibly and keep sensitive data safe. Hi, Aman. It's great to have you.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, you're right. It's everywhere, in your fridge, and it's also with all my kids and stuff. So yeah, it's everywhere.
So how quickly are companies and employees starting to use AI in the workplace?
You know, that's fascinating now because we're about 3 or 4 years into this journey now. And employees are kind of being the revolution behind this. It's the fastest growing technology that we've ever seen in this modern era. And what I mean by that is it's a bottoms up paradigm shift that employees are leaning in faster than ever and adopting different kinds of tools, from generative AI tools to different kinds of flavors of them. So the adoption, I think, is even more broader than we kind of get our hands around it. And we'll have to see how this implodes. And
what are some of the risks when people put like company data into AI programs?
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of people focus on the data side of it. I'll give you a different view of this. I think it's less about the data in some ways. I think it's going to be more about the human judgment. And I'll give you an example that we can kind of go back and forth on. Is employees are using these tools and they're sharing customer issues, HR hurdles, And these were, conversations that you would have with your manager or you would have with your peer group to try to resolve. And what employees are doing are they're blindly trusting that the AI is going to give them the answer. And I think that's where we're going to have to start putting in some boundaries on where we trust between the customers, trust between our partners, and trust between our employees.
So why is it important to protect private or sensitive information from these tools?
So yeah, this is important because the greatest gift that AI has given us is recall. It knows everything and you can't delete it, right? You can feed it a customer list, it'll know your clients. You feed it a product idea, it'll know your roadmap. You feed it a bit of snippet of code, it might know your tool stack. So it's going to become your digital doppelganger in a lot of sense. So I think we need to be more mindful of it and how we adopt it and how we actually educate our employees.
So how can employers help set boundaries and rules for safe AI use at work?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. The way I would expand on this is the following. Employers are going to have a very critical role in this, and they're going to become the trusted architects of trust. So they're going to be these architects that are going to put in the ethical boundaries around AI usage and how we use it in our day-to-day life or how we use it in our workplace. Of course, these models are going to be secure and they're going to be put into environments that are protected. But the last one, I think, is the most important one. It's going to be around education. And it's not only education of real-time alerting and prompting them on when to use it and how to use it, but it's also going to be around critical thinking and also around data ethics. Because if you think about it, data ethics is needed for these models, and then critical thinking is needed for these models. So I think the best employers are going to be are the ones that are going to put these guardrails in place, as well as pave the road of innovation with trust.
Since you're the cybersecurity guy, do you have any simple do's or don'ts for using AI responsibly?
Yeah, I'll give you one of each, right? So keep it simple. So I'll give you the one that we should avoid the most. The one we should avoid the most is know that these models are a haven of data. And once they have the data, you can't take it out. So be mindful of it. Don't share your trade secrets. Don't share the most important things that are important to you. Because once it's in there, it's in the hands of a lot of others. So that's the one I would avoid. Where I would embrace it is give it your idea. It's going to amplify your idea into many different ways. And once you have that idea, you can use it for your day-to-day life, or you can do it in the workplace. But the key thing in that is going to be that you're going to have that checks and balances in place, right? Verify but trust, right? So trust and verify. And you're going to have to basically make sure that what you're getting is for the right audience, for the right usage. The way I look at this is embrace AI. It's going to revolutionize how you and I behave and how our families act and how our employers and employees are embracing it. But it's not going to take away the ethics and the integrity of humanity.
Aman, thanks for joining us today and giving us some information. Where can we go for more information on this?
Yeah, the best place to go for this information is cyberhaven.com. We're a one-stop shop for your data. And we are focused on your digital breadcrumb trail of your data, whether you are in pharmacy, whether you are in finance, whether you're in technology. So the best thing is to give us a shout and we'll help you solve this problem.
Hey man, thanks for joining me today.
All right, cheers.
Do you ever get that sinking feeling when you can't remember a password or even worse, your account gets hacked? You know, October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and experts say it's the easiest way to protect yourself online is to just finally ditch all those passwords. So what do we mean? Joining us is Megan Seamus, Chief Marketing Officer at FIDO Alliance, here to explain how a new technology called Passkeys can make logging into things faster, easier, and a bit more secure. And let's welcome her to the show. Megan, how are you?
Hi, Dan. Thank you for having me. I'm doing great.
Okay, a lot of us are still relying on passwords for everything. What do you think is the biggest risk in continuing to do that today?
Well, passwords were really invented when the internet was invented. So having a password back in the 60s is a lot different than today, where we have more than 200 online accounts per person. They're difficult to manage. You probably see data breaches weekly where, all these passwords are leaked. And what's happening is, people just tend to reuse their passwords because they really just are hard to manage and remember. And so that makes them vulnerable to having, their accounts taken over in, data breaches and things like that. And so what Passkeys can do is you can just simply upgrade to a passkey and all of that goes away. It's just way more secure, it's faster, it's easier, and they're available broadly today for all of your viewers.
Okay. I've seen it pop up on my computer and my phone on some apps and the places that I've logged in. What exactly is a passkey, and how does it make logging in kind of a bit more secure?
I would say a lot more secure, Dan. And if you do have it pop up, I really would encourage you to enroll Passkey. So what passkeys are just a digital key, highly secure, that lives on your device. You can approve it, assign in just using whatever security features you have on your device, like a biometric or an on-device PIN. It's super fast. You can sign in like 3 seconds. You approve your sign in, and that digital key does advanced technology with the service to sign you in. There's really not much more to know about it, except that it's more secure, much more secure than a password. It cannot be stolen and reused. You can't give it away. And so it's really just something you want to upgrade to whenever possible.
And a lot of us like switch between phones, tablets, computers. How do passkeys work across all the different devices?
So passkeys are great because they're accessible across all of your devices through whatever credential password manager you use today, which could be, like Google Password Manager or iCloud Keychain. When you move from device to device, they're simply there. There's really not much for you to do to have to manage them, except they're just there. You also have the option when you're on a device that is maybe not your device to use your phone to sign into a computer too. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use your passkeys, but they're really just accessible. So like you don't have to worry about losing them or forgetting them. They are available to you on whatever device you have. Even new ones. It's really great.
And I've noticed a lot of the big websites and apps kind of adopting passkeys. Is this still something that's just starting or rolling out, or is it kind of universal right now?
I would say we're on the path to it being passkeys being universal. We introduced passkeys just 3 years ago, and I would say that every website that you use on a daily basis, whether it's for shopping, Amazon, Target, Walmart, banking apps, Uber, gaming apps. I mean, I could go on and on. But I would estimate that there's more than 2 billion passkeys enrolled today. And there's probably, all of your online accounts are probably, it's probably available on most of your online accounts, if not all of them at this point.
And is there something important to know, like only do it on your own devices and not like a public device, like a library or school or something computer?
Well, it's actually, we really have designed the technology to help folks out with that. So like I said, if you use your own personal phone to sign into a public device, like at a library or something like that, the passkey is not saved there at all. So really, you're not really at risk at all of leaving anything behind if you use a public device. Okay,
so how do we start? Where do we go to learn more about passkeys and maybe even start setting them up?
Well, like I told you before, if it does pop up, enroll a passkey. It's as simple as that. When you have the option, go ahead and upgrade to a passkey. On all the sites that you use, if you just head over to your security settings, you can see if passkeys are available. You can enroll a passkey, and it's really just as simple as that. So whenever it's available, go ahead and do it. Just make the upgrade, and hopefully you'll have way less passwords to have to deal with.
Megan, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Cold and flu season is coming back around, and it's not just the sniffles we really have to worry about. As we're getting older, illnesses like flu, COVID, RSV, and pneumonia can hit a lot harder and take longer to recover from. So joining us today is Dr. Passkeys Galiseitos, national spokesperson for the American Lung Association, to share the latest vaccine guidance and tips to help keep older adults healthy this fall. Welcome to the show, Doctor. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. What an honor to be here. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to your listeners and your audience. Ultimately, the big goal is keeping them safe.
Okay, so why is it especially important for older adults to get vaccinated this time of year?
Yeah, I'm going to answer that with 2 pieces of data. One, well, what does the statistics show, right? What does it show nationally? What does it show for every American? Well, what it shows is older adults are much more likely, if they catch the flu or COVID-19, they're much more likely to suffer dire consequences from it. Hospitalizations, intensive care unit admissions, fighting for their life and life support. We have the data that supports it. The other piece of data comes from me. Clinically, it's what I see. And I can provide that humanity to this because it is such a dire situation to see an older adult, a grandfather, a grandmother, an aunt and uncle, your mom and dad, fighting for their lives from a preventable complication of these infections. That is something I don't wish upon anyone. So that's why we're here today. We want to keep as many people safe and healthy this winter season.
And there are a lot of different vaccines out there: flu, COVID, RSV, even pneumonia. Can you walk us through which ones, like adults 50 and older should be thinking about?
Yes. So the annual ones, flu and COVID-19, this is the right time to get them. We make them every year because the viruses mutate. We're trying to just keep up with Mother Nature. And we want to get them done now before they really start taking off around the holidays, right? Thanksgiving and Christmas, these things tend to peak. So chase these vaccines down now. The other one is RSV. So the RSV vaccine came out about 3 years ago. And what we've noticed is if you get it, you're good for at least a minimum of 3 years. RSV is a big viral player for older adults, sending them to the hospitals, especially around January and February. This is a lethal virus, so please protect our older adults against RSV. Get that RSV vaccine. And then finally, the pneumococcal vaccine. So the pneumococcal vaccine is actually against a bacteria, not against a virus. And it's against a bacteria that caused so much pneumonia in the past that we named it that. We named it Streptococcal pneumoniae, right? So the pneumococcal vaccine, the only caveat here is there's a variety of them. So this is the one that I would say before marching to the pharmacy, maybe march to your primary care clinician to select the right one for you that you can go and get.
And for somebody trying to plan ahead, where's the best place to go get these vaccines?
So first, you got to know what resources are around you, right? The three that I would recommend is first, your local pharmacy. These are great. They usually stock up. The challenge is everyone else is using their local pharmacy as well. So there might be lines to try to get them. So the second thing that I advise is call your local health department or go to their website. Your local health departments put on a lot of vaccine campaigns at churches, at temples, at schools. So it makes it a little bit more efficient to access them. And then if all else fails, then talk to your primary care doctor, or even just go to websites such as lung.org, the American Lung Association's website, where you can get a little bit more tips and tricks of where to access these vaccines.
And are these vaccines typically covered by insurance, or do people really need to pay out of pocket?
So whenever these are put on national guidelines, the understanding is the insurances will allow them to be free, right? Because from an insurance standpoint, it makes sense. They'd rather them pay for the vaccine than pay for the hospitalization. So this is a definite great economic strategy for insurance companies. So these should be cost effective, if not free, for general Americans, for older adults 50 plus. But one thing I will say, trust but verify. So you can always call your insurance companies just to confirm that they'll be fine if you have the time.
And some vaccines, they seem to come up every year while others don't. What's the difference there?
Yeah, the difference has to do with Mother Nature, right? Flu and COVID-19, these viruses mutate a lot. And so we are just trying to keep up with the latest version of them. That's why we have these annual vaccines. In regards to RSV, what we have found is, look, Mother Nature doesn't change that virus as often. So you usually are okay getting one vaccine, and it provides coverage for at least up to 3 years. So a lot of it has to do with us trying to keep up with Mother Nature.
And finally, where can our viewers go to find out more or learn some trusted information, respiratory vaccine guides?
Excellent. So I have two big recommendations. One, always your local health department, because not only will they give you the most updated guidelines, they'll tell you where you can access them. And then you can always go to the American Lung Association's website, lung.org, where we have a ton of resources, and we can continue further navigating you on the internet of other places you can go to. Finally, also keep in mind your primary care clinician. They're there to advocate for you. You can always stop in and just check in what vaccines make the most sense for you.
Dr. Gally Satos, thanks for joining me today.
Excellent. What an honor. Thank you so much.
Halloween, it could be a marathon for parents, costume chaos, school events, and of course, trick-or-treating. But moms deserve to feel good through it all. So joining us is board-certified dermatologist Dr. Dayyeh Davis, sharing her trick-or-treat toolkit with quick beauty and skincare tips to help moms look and feel their best, even on the busiest days. And I'm going to use some of these tips as myself. Welcome to the show, Dr. Davis. How are you, my friend?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I need your help. See my face. I need help. I need work. Trick-or-treating can be exhausting. How can moms stay feeling fresh for the busy night and after a long day?
I would say a 5-minute reset is always good for everyone that's planning for the big night of trick-or-treating. So making sure that you're taking a couple of minutes to stretch, rehydrate with water, and even a protein meal to help increase your energy levels will help you throughout the evening. Now, some essentials that we don't want to forget is always remember to pack your cell phone, your portable charger, a water bottle. You want to make sure you have your first aid kit, flashlight, reflective fans if you're going to be outside in the evening time, and also supportive shoes and warm layers.
And you've created a trick-or-treat toolkit for moms. What kind of essentials belong in that?
So the essentials are definitely going to protect you and give you an all-day shield against sweat. Because remember, we're going to be running around, trick-or-treating, getting the costumes together, and all of that good stuff. So I like to recommend Secret Clinical, which will help to defend against 3 different types of sweat and help to restore your skin's natural barrier. This is dermatologist tested and trusted to keep you completely dry and keep you confident all day long, whether you're going to be trick-or-treating, carpooling, working out, or what have you. I always think it's great to apply this product at nighttime because the antiperspirant deodorant will be absorbed and work better the next day. Now, for those people that don't prefer a stick deodorant, we also have a spray deodorant, which was the native deodorant spray. This is a lightweight spray that can really help to keep you confident and dry. It's also going to be reliable without the harsh ingredients. Now, this product works best on clean, dry skin. So I always tell my patients to apply it after the shower once you let your skin dry, and make sure that it is dry before you put your clothes on. If it's too damp or if there's too much moisture, then it may not work effectively to decrease the body odor.
And what is one like dermatology-approved skincare treat that can help moms keep glowing and going into the night and still feel confident?
I love that, going and glowing. So I really love the Olay Micro Sculpting Cream. This is going to help to energize your skin cells so that you can feel and look younger longer. It really helps to deeply hydrate the skin, tighten the skin, and give a visible lift so that you can start to even notice that lifting property, even just starting after 1 day of use. And for moms, I know this is really important. They're super busy. They have busy schedules. So we need products that are going to start working from day 1. This can also be used on the neck and the décolletage region, which is great because we want to make sure that everything blends and matches together. So you can apply it to all 3 areas to maximize your hydration, even out your skin tone, and help improve your texture.
And finally, where can people go to learn more and check out some of these products?
So all of these products are available at our nationwide retailers. So they're easily accessible, they have great price points, and you can get them for the whole family.
Dr. Davis, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day.
And that is it for Rise and Unwind. I want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the show. If you actually want to be on this show, all you got to do is go to our website. That's riseunwindtv.com. Fill out the form, send it on in, and maybe you could be on a future episode. Hey, we're on social media. You can check out all the behind-the-scenes stuff, like the cats. Just follow us on Facebook and on Instagram, or go to our YouTube channel. That's at Rise Unwind. And make sure you like, comment, I don't know, share it, tell your friends, I don't know. Click the bell icon so you can be notified on future episodes. And until next week, that was the show we like to call Rise and Unwind. Remember, have yourself a quality day. Remember, quality isn't spelled with a K. See you next week. That's all I got.